After completing this topic, you will be able to create forms using HTML on a web page. While browsing a website, you might have encountered some forms like registration form or a feedback form. These forms usually ask for your name, email address, and some other basic information along with a few questions. Do you know how these forms are created? The answer is pretty simple and straightforward. We can create forms on a web page using HTML. But before we see how to create forms, let us first understand what they are. If I have to tell you in the simplest way, forms are used to collect some information in a structured way from users. To create a form using HTML, we use form tag. Let's have a look at this simple form which we have created using HTML and understand its corresponding HTML code. The form which you are seeing right now is fairly simple one. It includes fields where you can enter your email, password. You can select the gender by clicking on these radio buttons. Next, you can select the sports you like by clicking on the checkboxes. Notice that here you can select any number of checkboxes you want. Then, you have a drop down from where you can select the city of your choice. Lastly, you have a submit button to submit the details after filling the form. Apart from these options, you can add a ton of options and features in the form. Here, my purpose is to explain and give you a general idea of how we can add some of the most common features and understand its related attributes in a form. As mentioned earlier, to create a form, we use the form tag. And as you can see in the HTML code, we have an opening and closing form tag. Now, the next line in HTML code is a text box form element. It is the most commonly used element which is used to input text information such as name, place, etc. etc. The text box form element starts with an input tag which is followed by type attribute. The type text inside the input tag creates a text box. Without the type attribute, we won't be able to create a text box and won't be able to enter any text. The text box from element has another attribute name. So based on the information which we want from the user, we will specify a name accordingly. Here in our case, we need the email address of the user. So we have specified email here. Also, please note that the tag is a self-closing tag. Next, we have a password form element that is used to enter the user's password. To create this, we will use again the input tag with the type attribute. But here, instead of text, we will specify the type and name value as password. So when you type your password, it appears as dots and not as text. This form element is very important as it hides sensitive information like OTP, CVV number, or a PIN. Now, notice that we have added a line break. This means that the email address text box and the password text box will be in the same line. With this, we have created this part of the form. Now, if you look at the text box, we have some predefined options from which the user has to select one option by clicking on these buttons. These buttons are called radio buttons, in which instead of asking users to type anything, we ask them to choose from the given options. Radio buttons let the user choose only one option. Again, these form elements are created using input tag and the type attribute. And the type value that we specify is radio. Here, we have three gender options, so we will add three radio buttons from elements like this followed by a line break HTML tag. Here, if you notice outside the input tag, we have added additional text as male, female, and others. This is done in order to label the radio buttons, which will help the users to choose the particular option accordingly. Now, similar to radio buttons, we can also create checkboxes. The checkboxes come into play where a user might select more than one option. Like in this case, we want the user to select their hobbies. Now, there might be a possibility that the user loves playing all the games. Using a similar approach as we followed for radio buttons, we will create checkboxes like this. The only thing we need to change is the type value from radio to checkbox. Next is the dropdown. This form element is used when we have multiple options. In this, the user chooses an option from a list of options in the dropdown. To create a dropdown, select tag is used followed by name attribute. Based on the information we want to take from the user, the name is specified for the type attribute. For example, in our case, it is city, as we want the user to select the city from the dropdown. The select tag contains the options tag inside it, which is followed by a value attribute. And in value attributes, we specify the value specific to a particular option. Now in the form, you can see there is a big text area asking for a user's complete address. Well, these text areas are used in a form to take longer text input from the user. It may be a feedback, description, or an address, like in this case, and depends upon the type and purpose of the form. To create a text area, we use the text area tag followed by the attribute name. It also takes a couple of more attributes like rows, columns through which we can specify the size of the text area. The size of the text area is defined by the web developer that can accommodate any amount of text information. Generally, the text area is used to write summary, answers to questions, etc. that requires a bigger text area. Here, rows equal to 6 denotes the text area can accommodate 6 rows or lines of content, and columns equal to 50 denotes that in each line it can accommodate 50 text characters. In the text area, we want the user to enter address, that is why we have added the text here for easy understanding. This is the text that will appear inside the text box and will go away once the user starts typing. Lastly, the information that a user enters needs to be submitted, and for that we have a submit button. An input tag followed by a type attribute is used to create this button. So this is how we can create a simple looking form on a web page using HTML. We can add styles to any form to make them look beautiful, which we will cover in the next module. Also, there are more form elements that we have not discussed but will cover in the later parts of this training. Now, I would like you to try creating a form on your own. This will help you practice what you have learned and will also give you confidence while writing code. Up next is the quiz, followed by a module test. A module test will test your understanding of the entire module. So make sure you revise all the concepts before taking the module test. All the best.